The last session dealt primarily with some of the immediate practicalities in campaigning against nuclear weapons and war. This session aims to step back and take a longer-term look at the forces that are driving the world to war. The threat of war is a really important discussion at this crucial time, and that's not just because what's happening right now in Gaza and Ukraine and elsewhere. It's because this is an important point in international politics. As Trump's invasion of Venezuela and his threats of taking over Greenland continue, it's waking us up to the Make America Great Again movement. The MAGA project is awake to this as nothing else in the last year has been. As Jeffrey Sachs said so simply and so incisively at the UN Security Council's emergency session on Venezuela, the issue is not what we think about the character of the government, it's the issue of whether or not another state has the right to determine Venezuela's political future or exercise control over its affairs. Trump's action in Venezuela forces us to confront the possibility of world war. And as Sachs told us at the UNSC, given that we live in the nuclear age, humanity would perish. There would be no second chance, as there was after World War I and World War II. In practice, of course, the ability to invade another country and take control lies in the hands of very few states, the United States being foremost amongst them. The US National Security Strategy, which was published last November, laid out what's behind the actions that Trump are taking. And I just want to take a minute to read you what are almost direct quotes. Trump's introduction is clear. My administration has moved with urgency and historic speed to restore American strength at home and abroad. In everything we do, we are putting America first. The NSS is a roadmap to ensure that America remains the greatest and most successful nation in history. And the document actually spells this out. It specifies that the US seeks to have the world's strongest and most dynamic economy, with a robust industrial base and energy sector to maintain that economy, and which allows the United States to field the world's most important, lethal, and technologically advanced military to protect US interests, to deter wars, and, if necessary, to win them quickly and decisively, with the lowest possible casualties to American forces. The US National Defense Strategy was published only a couple of days ago. You may not even have picked it up, let alone had opportunity to scan it or to read it. It deploys the same concepts and the same sort of terminology to flesh out some of the changes the Trump administration is going to make to US military posture. Strip away the superlatives, and you have US security policy in a nutshell. The strongest economy with the best nukes and the most powerful military to ensure the United States stays at the top of the mountain. That's what MAGA means. When Trump retweets a map of the Western Hemisphere covered in the American flag, he's deadly serious. The extent to which he can achieve it remains to be seen, but this is the MAGA endgame. And it's why governments across Europe are driving hard to remilitarize, why they're increasing military spending in order to rearm. And it's why, like Keir Starmer in Britain, they're prepared to shoulder so much public unpopularity by failing to restore public services and tackle the cost of living crisis. This is the end they're aiming for. The threat of taking over Greenland in the last couple of weeks has fueled two interrelated and coextensive debates amongst Trump's allies. Is the US disengaging from Europe? And are we witnessing the beginning of the breakup of NATO? The answer to the first question, to disengagement, is most definitely not. On the contrary, NATO architecture is expanding across Europe, and that's something that Tom has been pointing out to CND and on the meetings and media interview he does for quite a time now. He tells me how little pickup he gets when he makes this point. The mainstream media is following government and avoiding this aspect of the public debate, and many of the progressive forces, including some of the anti-war movement, seem to be unaware of what's going on. New US and NATO military facilities are coming on stream across Europe. Lakenheath Air Base, where the US are storing their nuclear weapons, and RAF Marham near King's Lynn, where the fighter jets that will deliver them are stationed. They're dedicated to NATO's European Nuclear Command.
Sorry to interrupt, Carol, you're at time, if you could wrap up.
Right, will do. And both of them are part of NATO's deadly European nuclear network. The second question is open to debate. Some commentators are arguing that NATO is breaking up. Others are talking about a transition rather than a break. The anti-war movement has got to get wise up to these debates. Our strength is in understanding our ability to bring the movement out on the streets, and that's what we're discussing for the rest of the session. Thank you to Hannah. Over to you.